Want to look back at it? Let's see. Can you make sure that's square? Move
Yeah.
the chair.
Yeah.
Why do you look like the city crab?
And then that one a little to the right. Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna try to start off with a little bit of math today. So if y'all have your calculators and want to help me out while we do some equations, or if you also want to perform your equations for yourself. So you'll have a chance today to determine what your RMR is, what your daily caloric need is, what your carbohydrate requirement is, what your protein intake is, and what your fat intake is. And then we're going to get in groups and talk about how we could create meals for me. So we're going to be doing some meal planning for me. We'll use all my numbers in here. That way we don't have to worry about y'all sharing your numbers. So first we need to determine the resting metabolic rate. So we need to take our weight in pounds and divide it by 2.2. So let's have a calculation for 205 divided by 2.2. How many? 93.1. We'll just call it a 93, okay? Kilograms, okay? Height in inches times 2.54, so 74 inches. I'm 74 inches times 2.54, which is 187. So we got 187 centimeters, 93 kilograms. Okay, so we're gonna take our resting metabolic rate. It's gonna 66 plus 5 times my height. So I'm gonna go 66 plus 5 times my height in inches or centimeters, which is 187, plus 13.8 times 93, minus 6.8 times my age, which I think I'm 38 now. I'm getting up there, I'm almost 40. So let's go 5 times 187, what's that? 935 plus, okay, what's 13.8 times 93? So 13.8 times 93. 1,288. And then 6.8 times 38. 258. All right, so now we're gonna take 66 plus 935. 1,001. Okay, plus 1288.
2289.
So 2289. We're gonna minus 258.
2031.
So 2031. So we're gonna come up with RMR equals 2031.
31.
2031?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. All right, so I need 2,031 calories, which remember, we looked at the average male was around 2,000. Okay, so averages help us kind of just figure that out for most people. Most men around 2,000, most women around 1,500. Okay, so now we're gonna determine my daily caloric need. Okay, so y'all think I'm very light, moderate, heavy, or vigorous? Just assume or guess.
Heavy. Moderate.
Yeah, I'd say moderate. I'd say my heavy and vigorous days are before me. But so let's go 1.6. So let's multiply 2,031 times 1.6.
It's actually 2026.
This is 2,000?
Huh?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
What makes sense for
I got
84
2031
minus
too.
58?
All right, let's.
She got 2031.
Is it 2284 minus 258?
It's 2284. Yeah, did you put 9? Or is that a 9?
We are not good at math.
2284.
You can only add
Yeah, it's
45.
2026.
Bro, what?
84 minus 58.
Louis Harrison.
So how did we get?
Oh,
How did we
let's start
get that?
over, okay? Okay. So
84 minus 258. It wouldn't be a 1.
Losing confidence back here.
This guy is.
Yeah.
Oh, initiative.
Do we need to restart?
I'm just looking for the last one.
All right, so where do we, okay,
It's
so,
literally just the last equation, 2284 minus 258.
okay. Now, was that a 4 or was that a 9? That's the question. Did I write it wrong, okay? So, 935, okay, so we have 66 plus 935 is 66 plus 935. 1001 plus 1288 minus 258. So what's 1288 minus 258?
It's a 9, 2,289.
Plus
Right? Is that what you got?
What? Hold on.
That's a 9 right there.
1288 minus 258.
1030.
1030. Okay, so what do we got? 1030 plus 1001.
2031.
2031? So we're back to square one? Alright, that's alright. That's alright. So we're at 2031. We're at moderate intensity. Let's go 2031 multiplied by 1.6. 3249.
You said
Yes. So we got 3249 is how many calories I need to eat per day in order to maintain my weight. Okay, I've lost probably like 15 pounds this semester just from moving more, eating less. I would say it's mainly due to eating less and skipping breakfasts and lunches, honestly. You want a quick way to lose weight, you just skip a meal. That's taking 500 to 800 calories out per day. That's not something that I think is sustainable long term. I think that's a good way maybe to start for some people, but sustainability wise, you don't wanna have to starve yourself or go through intermittent fasting. Some people like it though. I don't mind it. I can skip a meal because I'm not like one of those people that wake up really hungry. Anybody like that? You wake up, you're not that hungry? Yeah, I don't know. I have to usually eat mid-morning. All right, so we're at 3249 for our caloric need. So now we're gonna find out how many carbs I need per day. Okay, so carb need is how many kilograms do I weigh?
93.
93. Okay, times my activity, sedentary, moderate, physically active, and vigorous. Let's say 93 times 5.5. 93 times 5.5.
511.
So 511 grams of carbs per day. Okay, multiply that by 4. That's how many calories.
146.
Was that
146.
146?
2046.
2046. Okay, so it looks like obviously a majority of my carbs, or a majority of my calories are coming from carbs. Now, what if we just went, let's do 3249, multiply that by 0.50. So multiply this by 0.50 real quick for me, and what do we get?
1624.
1624. Okay, so around 50%, if I were to say, okay, maybe I only want 50% of my diet from carbs, I could also say 60%, what we know is recommended for people that work out a lot. What about 0.55? What is it when we do 0.55? So 3249 times 0.55.
1786.
1786. Okay, so a little bit different than when I use the activity calculator, because you would think, well, if I take my total caloric need and I multiply that by recommended amount of carbs, which is like 55 or 60%, it's different than when we add in grams per kilogram. So it's just a little bit different. So some people might think that works better for them. Some people might just stick with what NCSF guides. So protein intake. So I'm 93 kilograms. okay, times sedentary, moderate, physically active, endurance, strength training, and this will be for children. Okay, so let's just say I'm physically active. Let's go 1.2. So protein need 93 kilograms times 1.2. 111. Okay, 111 grams of protein per day. Times that by 444. So 444 calories per day are coming from protein. All right. Now let's go ahead and looking at determining fat intake. So we take our carb intake, which is going to be 2046 plus protein and calories 444. So someone do that. 2046 plus 444.
2490.
2490, which is considered my chop value. Okay, I take that chop value of 2490, I divide it by 1 minus the percent of fat I want in my diet. Okay, I want, maybe let's go 25%. So I want 1 minus, I wonder how that's gonna work.
It's
What's that?
that's 0.75. So would you just do 2490 divided by 0.75?
2490 divided by
0.75.
0.75?
That's one
That's
minus.
1 minus 0.25.
1 minus 0.25. So what do we have?
0.75, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
you're saying that's what it is.
That's what, like.
So
PIMDA,
1 minus
but
1 minus
Yeah.
0.25 is
0.75.
okay. So you're giving me the answer for that. Okay.
Yeah.
So totally so we have 2490 divided by
0.75.
which is
3320. 3320.
3320. Okay. Minus my chop value, so 3320 minus 2490.
That's 830.
830. 180. 830. Okay, that's how many fat calories I get. Now divide that by 4.
207.5.
Okay, 207. That's how many grams of, divide not by 4. What is fat? Sorry. What are we going to divide that by?
Oh,
Nine.
9. Because I was like 207 grams of fat. I don't know if I can handle that.
Wait, so 830 divided by 9?
Yep.
Is 92.2.
92. Okay, let's just put 92 grams of fat. Okay. And then, so we got 830 is our calories. 92 grams of fat is what we can have. We can have 111 grams of protein, and we can have 500 grams of carbs.
Can you do the protein again? Because 93 times 111 equals 111.
So 93 times 1 point, what did we do? We did 1.2, right? So now, what is 93 times 1.2? Is it not coming out to 111?
No, it's just like 111. 93 times 111 equals 111, so I was confused.
Oh, I see.
I was like,
Sorry about that. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So I'm going to give you a couple minutes to see if you want to try to figure out yours. Okay, so and then what we're going to do after this is we're going to try to make meals. Okay, if I get 500 grams of carbs per day, and I get 111 grams of protein per day, and I get 92 grams of fat per day, what might I do to try to figure out my meal planning? What do you think I might do with these numbers? If I have 500 grams of carbs I get to eat per day, what might I do next? What might I divide that by? Divide by 3 or 4, how many meals I eat, right? So that's what we're gonna do next. So I'm gonna say, all right, I'm gonna eat 4 meals per day. How can I get 500 grams, that's about a little bit more than 100 grams per meal, right? So that would be like 4 apples. I don't know if I'm gonna eat 4 apples, but You know, that's what I mean. So you're trying to figure out, now how can I get all those carbs? How can I get all that protein? And how can I get that fat in my meals in maybe a healthy way, right? Not just like, oh, I can eat a cheeseburger. I can get my protein and fat for the day basically in a couple of cheeseburgers, you know? I mean, cheeseburger will have like 20, 30 grams of protein. You have 3 or 4 of those a day, then you're good on your protein intake, but you're probably over in your fat. You're probably still good on your carbs though. So I'll give you one more minute if you want to kind of try to figure yours out, or does anybody want to try to figure yours out on the board? It's a little sloppy, but does anybody want to try their height and weight and see what you need?
I mean, as long as I don't have to do all that.
We'll help you. Well, it'd be good to use the we have a women formula too, okay? So weight in pounds, okay, divided by two, so 120 divided by 2.2, what do we have? Let me go ahead and start erasing. All right, so 120 divided by 2.2.
$54.
54. All right. And that's 54 what?
Okay.
Kilograms, yep, good. All right. And now, what about, how tall are you in inches?
5'6".
5'6", so that's 12 times 5 plus 6. 66 times 2.54. 167. Okay, we'll just put 167. So now we'll go to our women's RMR. It's going to be 655 plus 1 times the height. The height is going to be 167 plus 9.6 times your weight, which is 54 kg. And your age is 22. All right, so we're going to go 655, or first we need to do 1.8 times 167. 1.8 times 167. $120.6. Okay. Plus, we're going to go 9.6 times 54.
518.
518 minus 4.7 times 22, so 4.7 times 22. So 4.7 times 22.
103.
103. So 655 plus 120.6 equals
775.
plus 518
1293.
minus 103.
1190.
1190. Okay, a little bit less than an average. Okay, so you have about 1,200 calories per day to maintain if you did absolutely nothing, but we know that's not what you do. You're a healthy individual. Determine caloric need. So now we're going to take the calculator. We have setups for men and women. So very light, light, moderate, heavy, or vigorous.
You said for what?
This is your your activity level.
Let's say pretty heavy.
Heavy. Okay, so you're at 2.1. Or sorry, yeah, you would be at 2.1, right?
Mm-hmm. That's for like activity level, heavy activity level, right?
Right.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Why would